Hello and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea and today I would like to share with you more of the information I've received from the 25th dimension in my last hypnosis session. However, today is going to be a little different because I normally have prepare these videos in advance, and I received this information regarding some stuff, some events that are happening, supposedly happening in the world right now. So I am going to release this video as soon as I'm done recording it here. And again, while I normally don't do intel, this information has been coming very consistently to me since this first event, and I'm talking about the war in Ukraine, started the very same day I was told this was happening. I don't watch TV, so my boyfriend told me this was happening. I asked right away, and immediately they gave me this information. And because a lot of people are being dragged into this energy vortex, less and less people these days, which is a good thing. Then I thought I would release this as soon as possible, as opposed to just scheduling it the way that I normally do. So before we move forward, I would like to ask you to please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. That really helps me. And do leave me a comment below to let me know if this resonates with you and what you think of this entire situation. All right, I'm going to start reading here. The particular hypnotist in this session was Lorraine. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know that normally it is Carolyn. I figured I'd give her a little break, but Carolyn will be back because she is awesome. And I did enjoy actually speaking with Lorraine as well during this hypnosis. So it's all good. I happen to have great friends, so it works for me. All right, let's jump in. Okay, Lorraine. Is David Icke a light worker? And if you guys are not familiar with him, he is awesome. He's been talking about this stuff for decades. I don't even know how he tolerated it, because all of us were playing the sleep game, at least I know I was during a lot of this time, and he has gotten all kinds of ridicule heaped on him, and he just keeps going. He is a machine. He's amazing. He's an amazing human. All right, so is David Icke a light worker? Where has he found the strength to last for decades talking about things that people used to ridicule him about, like the reptilians? How did he even know these things in the 80s when everyone else was asleep? Me. David Icke is a beloved brother. He is. So first of all, how has he known about this stuff since the 80s? This stuff has been known for eons. He just tapped in. The same way that we all know anything, we just tap in. We've already said we leave clues everywhere. The truth is not hidden. The truth has never been hidden. The truth is out there for anybody. Anybody could know everything this moment if they wanted to. He wanted to know, so he found it. And of course, how do you keep the faith when you know something? You just know. You know the truth. That's all you can do, is spread the truth. So he's on the team of the light. He's absolutely on the team of the light. And this is what he's wanted to do. He wanted to focus on this and spread the news. And this is what keeps him strong. He's never wavered, even though he's had a lot of challenges. But he knows this is the truth, and he can't help himself. He's just got to spread it. And we love this about him. And I do. I love this about him. There are humans that just make me, leave me in awe of what they're capable of doing. Because it's tough, guys. It's tough. It's tough knowing stuff that everybody else wants to ignore. Let's put it that way. Lorraine, thank you. When will the co-and-bid thing be recalled? Me. We don't have much longer to go. This is going to happen any day now. The third, the people going to 3D planets are already leaving. And the V will go with them. When they're gone, the V will go. Because they're the ones that were holding up that agenda, that idea, and the rest of us are bored out of our minds and ready to be done with it. Lorraine, thank you. Okay. I have a question from Melissa. Hi, Mel. I should get a question from my mom so I can do, hi, mom. I know that that's a popular thing to do on videos. Okay, I have a question from Melissa. We have had massive mud floods in northern New South Wales towns in Australia with the recent engineered rain event we had. I have heard from several people that it was done to destroy evidence of nefarious activity below ground and to hide things they want to keep hidden. Is it true that the rain was engineered? And if so, why? And who did it? The dark or the light? So Mel's question, she's basically was told that it was engineered by the dark, again, to hide things underground. And this was my part of the question. Is it true that the rain was engineered? Because I don't know, I wanted to ask. And if so, why? And who did it, the dark or the light? Because again, I don't like to assume things. A lot of times we just go with, what seems to make sense, but it's not necessarily correct. Me. So the rain was actually natural. However, they did also add to it. We have talked about this in a previous dream where water was going to cleanse everything. So this is Mother Earth cleansing. Water is the fastest way to release energy. Now, they did latch on and make it worse. But this, we have a feeling, sorry guys, let me make sure I'm reading the right line here. So they did latch on and make it worse. But this, we have a feeling that she's thinking it was done by the dark to hide their bad deeds. In reality, it was engineered by the light team. And it was engineered by the light team to basically shut down all these bases because they cannot get to all of them. There are that many. And they figured this would be an easy way to clear out a lot of the activity that's going on under there. And also, yes, to hide some of the stuff that's going on below. But the same way they've been hiding all of this all along. They don't want, it's too dark. We're not going to hear about the information. What's been happening underground because it is not going to add anything. A lot of people don't want to know this. So this will never be common knowledge. This is not something that is going to eventually be disclosed the way that many people would like it to be disclosed. So yes, this is basically just a way of dealing with the situation once and for all. But it was not engineered by the dark. It was engineered by the light. The dark has actually been hurt, if you want to say that, by what has been happening. And basically, it's over. We already talked about this, that there would be, the cleansing would start in Australia, and then the water would come. And then, so they are on par doing what they're supposed to. And I know this is seems very difficult for people, especially people going through maybe losing their houses. But at the same time, it was time. It had to be cleansed. The earth had to be cleansed. And this is what is happening. What they're referring to, when they say we already talked about this, I did receive a dream about this in December. I will link the video below in the description box. If you haven't watched this video, go look at it, because basically they are talking about the fact that there would be rain coming and Australia would be the first place to experience this because of certain things that have been happening over there and how the people feel in that country. And so I think this explains a lot of what is happening right now. All right, Lorraine, thank you. What is this? Sorry, guys. What is the true story of the Ukrainian war? Are they taking out the KM? And KM stands for Khazarian Mafia. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, and I'm trying to be a little bit careful with the words I say because YouTube is not on the side of the light. Let's just put it that way. I think you guys already know. But basically, it's what is commonly called deep state or CABAL. Again, CABAL. I can't say the word because that's definitely something that they censor. All right, so what is the true story of the Ukrainian war? Are they taking out the KM and cleaning house? Are the white hats behind it? And how long is it going to last? So I had already gotten answers about these things. As I said, the day that I was notified of this, I asked and they told me it's fake. And then they gave me a whole lot of information. I decided not to release that information when I received it because, again, I don't want to get in the middle of this. There are people that love to believe that this is real. And, but I think it's time. So I am gonna, I asked again under hypnosis, and I do want to share this answer with you. Me. So there is no war. And yes, it's just an operation. And what's happened is that the Khazarian mafia, what we call the deep state, they don't want that to happen, obviously. And so they're trying to get the entire world to react to what's happening. But it's not going to work. The world is not going to be distracted again. Well, as we mentioned, there are still people who like to watch horror stories, whether it's in the news, whether it's in the movies, it's all the same to them. It satisfies the same need for that type of vibration. It's really not latching on with a lot of people. You don't hear a lot of people talk about it. Most people are more concerned with the price of gas going up, based on the excuse of this fake war than anything else. And this is how the dark has lost. The dark has lost the attention and the focus they were able to maintain before. Literally, the dark itself has been weakened because a lot of the dark players have left. They're already gone. But also they have lost the attention of a big chunk of the population that was in the middle, because these people, because they know that they've made choices to go to higher vibrational environments, a lot of people are switching. In that sense, they're aligning. Again, they're not increasing their frequency and therefore they're going somewhere because they've aligned with a certain quote unquote future reality, then they're really not interested. You're already focusing you moved your focus to this new reality and therefore you're less and less interested in the old. And this is old and boring. I mean, it's more of the same. After 2 years of COVID, who wants to deal with a war? It's boring. And not only now, I mean, a lot of people are just switching off the news. All we get from the news is like these dire warnings. Oh my God, now it's like we're back in the Cold War. Any day we could have a nuclear attack. This is all ridiculous. None of that is happening, by the way. There's not going to be any nuclear attack of any kind. A lot of it is made up. There are not even these things that we're told are not even happening. Some are, but they're a very small minority. And this is not the way they're telling you that they are happening either. There are operations being cleaned out by the white hats. That's what's happening in Ukraine. And this is not to say that there are absolutely no Ukrainians that are worried about what's happening. There are Ukrainians who don't understand some of these things. And of course they're reacting, but it's a small minority. It's not even the entire country. The entire country doesn't even know that they're supposed to be scared and in a bad situation. This is just not happening, what we're being told. Not only governments are exposing themselves, all of this is backfiring. Governments are exposing themselves because a lot of people are putting 2 and 2 together and saying, oh, this is what a government does. One, they destroy their own population. And when they are done, they are bored with that one. They move on to try to get us into wars. A lot of people are not willing to participate in these games anymore. So it's all crumbling. It's all falling. We will see before we leave, even though we don't have a lot of time now, we will see a weakening of governments. And I would say we've been seeing it for a while now. All right, Lorraine, wonderful, thank you. Is pudding the essence that has been pudding gone? She means, is the actual pudding we have, is it fake or real? Or so as the essence that has been pudding gone? And if so, is the person playing Putin working with a podcast? Me. Putin has been gone for years, and the person, the actor playing Putin right now in this particular situation, he's working with the white hats. It's not so much the white hats as he's on the team of the light. He's not on the team of the light, but again, there is this group that just wants to change the rules. Nobody wants to live with this planet the way it is anymore. So people like Putin are helping. Everybody wants to change the rules. Everybody's tired. So this was a little confusing. I had to read it a couple of times. What they're trying to say is that this person wouldn't even need to be on the team of the light. It's just that everybody is tired of this. Okay, so everybody who has any power to change anything, they want to change it. Doesn't even matter if you're in the middle or on the team of the light. You just want things to not be the same all way anymore. Lorraine, great. What is going to happen with the threat of attack on Taiwan by China? Is this a dark or light operation? And what is the real purpose behind the story and possible attack? And the reason I preempted this is because when they were talking about the war in Ukraine, of course, they like to bring in, and we've been hearing about this forever, this attack of China on Taiwan. I mean, old and boring stories, so trite. They always give us the same crap. So I'm like, if you're going to make it sound interesting, at least make it sound interesting, come up with something new. But again, they can't. It's like these old tricks that get recycled over and over. All right, so I wanted to ask about this because this could be, you know, the last fad after the Ukrainian war ends, the so-called war ends here, which is gonna end very soon. So what is going to happen with the threat of attack on Taiwan by China? Is this a dark or light operation? And what is the real purpose behind the story and possible attack? Me. So there's not going to be an attack, or at least not a real attack. And the purpose for the story is always the same, to scare us. The same reason why they tell us they're going to release, because there is another question like this, Claire wanted to know, it's like all these stories about they're going to release GMO mosquitoes in Florida. And they've been talking about this for years. It's all the old stories to create low vibration. And none of this is happening, and they're still trying to keep people's focus on here, on this planet, except that again, people's focus has switched to the future or to our new experience is what it is. And so it's harder and harder these days to hold people's attention enough to manifest a situation. And so none of this is going to happen. Again, it's being spread. This information is being spread just to keep people in fear. It's not even working anymore. Less and less people are even interested. Most people are even bored of this now, even bored of something that's supposed to be World War III. Think about that. That's how bored we are. We're like, World War III? Whatever. This is how bored we are, how ready we are to move on. Another thing that you guys have probably read is how every once in a while it comes up that Gates wants to blot out the sun. I just saw it pop up again the other day. And I realized even before asking these questions, I was like, yeah, it's boring. It's always saying, clearly they haven't done it the first 300 times they said it was going to happen. It's not going to happen now either. It's almost like from a 3D perspective, it totally makes sense. The media has nothing to talk about, so they just put out something like this. When you realize though, from a different awareness perspective, what's actually going into it, you realize they are trying to do something that's just not working anymore. Like we're all heard the story a million times. It's like nobody believes that anymore. The GMO mosquitoes though is a favorite one. I have mothers that I know, they are very holistic and they do freak out about this one. I'm like, but it's all right. Everybody is exactly where they need to be. So no judgment. All right, so since we're doing Intel today, I figured I would end with a bang and speak about the British royals. So let's go, let's do this. Lorraine, I agree. Is it true that the British royals, as many other royals, are reptilian? Me, yes. Lorraine, are they gone? Are the Queen, Prince Charles, and Camilla dead? Me, yeah, they're all gone. Lorraine, so what about the younger royals like Prince William and Harry and their respective wives? Me, they're not dead, but they're not free anymore. They're not, their essence has been gone for a while and they will just dissolve. All of this is history already. It's not, none of what we're seeing, none of what we are being offered as ideas even takes hold anymore. Less and less people care. And that's exactly how it feels, guys. But so I figured I would just answer some of these questions because we still hear people so enthralled talking about this stuff. Lorraine, when will the institution of the monarchy fall? Me, it will not be part of the 3D simulation. Me, I'm sorry, Lorraine, nice. Are Lady Diana and JFK Jr. still alive? I guess I just wanted to mess with you guys, put this information out there. I know that there are people that have this emotional attachment to these two. So me, I get that no, they're not alive. Not only they are not alive, but they might have actors playing them if they ever come back, but I don't think they are. They don't, their essence has been gone. So no, I don't get that they are alive. Lorraine, Were they on the team of the light when they were alive? Me. They were in the middle. They had a lot of dark around them. They were not on the team of the light, but they didn't necessarily just want to be doing dark things, even though that's the environment they were in. And so that's why they were picked up, you know, they were in the middle somewhere, and that's why they were picked up by the white hats, actually. But yeah, no, they got rid of them. So we often put people on a pedestal, and we think we do this with ourselves even, and we do this in our personal lives with the people that we know, that we put people on a pedestal and they have to be either black or white. But none of us black or white. None of us is a saint, and none of us is an absolutely evil person. There is no such thing. We all have the ability to be light or dark. And this is another point, like for some reason, Lady Di, you know, she did, I mean, it looks like, you know, I didn't know her, so I don't know, I'm going off of television. She did look like she did a lot of great things, but that doesn't mean that she was on the team of the light necessarily, or that she was perfect, okay? And a lot of the propaganda we hear is that, oh my goodness, she was like the best person who's ever walked the earth. And this is not to take anything away from her. It's not to like put her in her place or something. It's just my message is about the fact that we do this. We expect people to be just one way, but this is very limiting. Even with ourselves, when we just want to be love and light, we don't have to be just love and light. We are everything. We should honor everything that we are. I guess that's the message that I wanted to get across. Okay, Lorraine, thank you. So you told us that we will see something of the new improved 3D reality while we're still here. How much of it and under what guise? In relation to finances, governments, big pharma, widespread corruption being exposed to the masses? Me. So finance, you're going to have some reevaluations, okay? And so you're going to have people who have invested in certain things actually become millionaires or whatever, which won't even matter because, again, we don't have that much time left. You're going to have some of the pharmaceutical companies, again, with the recall of the V, they're going to come under pressure, a lot of pressure. Right now, Pfizer is having a really hard time already as it is. And all of this is going to continue escalating. And from a government perspective, you're going to see governments come under pressure and being accused of basically collaborating with the pharmaceutical companies. Basically, all of this is going to pave the way for the people going to 3D. They're going to be like, oh, that's what happened. It's going to be like history to them. And they're going to think that they're going to lose time in that sense. They're going to think this happened a long time ago. And because of that, there's been an evolution to where they got to the point where they don't have any of these things anymore. You know, all pharmaceutical companies are gone. They won't exist anymore, but they will have a story in their mind as to why this happened. But we're not going to see it all play out, but we're going to see enough to have an indication that this is what would have happened if we were still here. So yeah, the governments, pharmaceutical companies, you're going to see a lot of backlash, mounting backlash and money. I mean, we're not going to see Nizara Gizara because there's just no time, but we are going to see the reevaluation. And when people talk about the reevaluation, this is going to come more into the common knowledge that it's because we're setting up new systems and this is the future. Although obviously it is the future, but it's not really the future. It's another place that has different rules. Of course, the people, this is only for people going to 3D. The people going to alien planets, they're not going to deal with any of this. They're not even going to have money anymore. So I think this all sounds good to me. I hope it resonates with you. Please do let me know in the comments if it does, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up as well. That really helps me. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.